What is up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you here, cruising on my way home, thinking about the WWE Royal Rumble. Honestly, it was funny. Last week, I was cranking out video after video about the WWE Hall of Fame for the upcoming WrestleMania 38 coming up, and now here we are with the second video in a row talking about the Royal Rumble. It's one of my favorite matches. I think it's the mysterious mystique of basically not knowing who's going to show up, who's going to win, who's going to WrestleMania. This year's going to be a fun year. I think that honestly, when you look at the Royal Rumble crew of who's going on and what storylines they got going on in WWE, I think there's quite possibly the most people that could win the Rumble this year. It's kind of wide open for what's going to happen. I think you know, if the match they want to put on, that we think they want to put on, is Brock versus Roman, the match that we thought we were going to get at year one on January 1st. And then basically when Roman had to back out of the match due to COVID, Brock won the WWE Championship for the Monday Night Raw brand. That was a big surprise. And a lot of people quickly said, you know, they're probably just going to save the match for WrestleMania. My big thing is, how do you get them to WrestleMania? Either you're going to have somebody win the Rumble and then say, hey, I don't want to go to WrestleMania. I want to win the championship now. I want my championship shot at the February pay-per-view. We've seen this before. I think when Cena won it, that was the biggest. It was the first, but there was like, we need to get the title on Cena, we need to get the title on him now. So just use it as fast as you can. More often than not, they make a angle out of the Royal Rumble finish, much like, you know, when Big Show and Rock fought it out, and then Big Show was saying the Rock's feet's touched, so they had a match at the February pay-per-view before we got to WrestleMania. That's what we see more often than not. But if it's gonna be Brock versus Roman, one of them has to win the Rumble, right? I still think the one match that they're saving for WrestleMania is the match that we thought we were going to get for Survivor Series, and we never got it. That was Rock versus Roman. We've been looking forward to this match since WrestleMania 32, I think. I think that's when we first started talking about Rock coming back. Having a match against his family member, possibly putting him over, maybe it being his last match, and then, riding off into the sunset, making movies and going to the WWE Hall of Fame someday. I think that's, a good possibility for what could be going down. I'm not sure. You always gotta be wondering what movies Rock is making, what movie he's going to be making. But a Rock run, from January to April would be really, really fun and a really big kick in the pants. You just gotta think, does Rock think that him coming back is gonna put a big boost to wrestling? He doesn't really like to do things that doesn't really put him in a bad light, or not make front page news trending on Twitter. He can't just be the afterthought of what's going down. And I kind of look at he doesn't want to make the Fast and Furious movies anymore, but he had to publicly come out and say that Vin Diesel put him out on blast by, putting the request out on Instagram. He said, you already asked, I told you no. Then you tried to use, Paul Walker's family against me, which was a little bit of a low blow trying to lure him in there. And in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking they're just trying to publicly, have this little spat, saying no, and then bam, Rock comes in, saves the day in Fast 10, and it's like a surprise entrant in the Rumble. It's only at the end of the movie. Nobody knew he was there. Nobody knew he was going to be there. They kept it quiet, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You got the end of a series, finally. Well, actually, I think a lot of those movies are good. But they haven't been as great as Fast 5, but then again, I don't think any other ones have been like heist movies, and that's like kind of like my favorite subplot of movies, I guess you can say, and them adding them going down and stealing that safe was pretty fucking fun. Well, yeah, I think The Rock could do it. I mean, if The Rock wants to do it, The Rock could do it. I think he's quite possibly one of the biggest names for a surprise, other than bringing somebody in from AEW. But maybe this is the year. WWE knows they're down in the dumps a little bit, and instead of just normal surprises, it's just surprise after surprise after surprise. Each one's bigger than the last. Maybe we get a Rock. Maybe we get a guy from AEW just to blow your mind going into WrestleMania. And it's just, well, if they did that for the Rumble, what are they going to do for WrestleMania? What's next? What's the big thing that's going to jump Monday Night Raw and give wrestling a kick in the pants? So, Rock in the Rumble. Rock winning the Rumble. It's a pretty big pick for me.